Test, check, check, check. Hello, radio. All right, all right, all right. Hello. All right, and here's what's going on tonight. I am doing a video tomorrow for my Behind the Sounds video I do every Monday. So I'm getting some of my equipment together and putting it together tonight while we hang out. And tomorrow I'm probably going to go over my still cameras and a couple of my video cameras. That's about it. All right. So a lot of the times people think I use a phase or a Hasselblad, and I do, but only on big campaigns. And the problem with is that having a Hasselblad or a phase, they're really expensive. So I only do about 3 to 4 big campaigns a year, so I just rent them. That's why I use a 9-year-old, 2015 Sony. And this is a Sony A7R Mark II. 42 megapixels. Because really, when I use this, I'm doing stuff locally and some for my commercial work. But for what they're using it for, it's not going to go in any movies. It's not going to be on TV. It's not going to have to be matched with anything else. So this does just fine. A lot of times they'll get on and they're talking about the latest and the greatest. It's a tool. And if it gets the job done, I've never seen a reason to upgrade. Sure, the new A7R4 has quicker, faster autofocus, but I use manual focus lenses. That's what I get for playing around. I think I'm going to put a sound bed on. Yeah, I think that's 50 megapixels too, isn't it? No problem, Sleepy. I appreciate you too. Thank you. What's up? Sorry, I'm old and I have a hard time seeing through this. It's crazy. Is it Ashton last name? Last name? 45. So give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Yeah, that's great if you got a company that'll trust you. When my company purchases the cameras for me, I modify them. I pull stuff out of them and have them worked on, so they know they can't have them back. All right, it looks like Jason. Welcome aboard, bro. Ooh, Jason Garcia. Remember, I'm old, and I see pretty good, but in this lighting, it's kind of weird, and I don't want to put it right here, so. Team Lions, yes. This is working into being like a radio station, is what I want it to be. And then that would be like one of the shows. So, and I'm trying to fix it up, so let me turn this off. Makes me sound like I'm out in the sticks. So I'm working it out so I can run the stream 24/7 and then step into it with another stream without making it too difficult or too hard for me, because I'd also want to do that mobile. Wow. Yeah, about increasing the live chat size. Yeah, it's the light more. Because I'm running down here on a iPad Pro. I believe it's a 11-inch, and I got it pretty big, but I'm just older. Well, that's kind of modding the camera. I got you there. Ashton, I got you there. Yeah, no, that gets a little bit weird, because it's got to be just playing around it. It's got to be. I got to not be distracted. Know what I'm saying? But eventually I will shoot product shots over there in the studio. I will eventually take you guys in there with me on Sundays, shoot a product. Well, what I'll do is what's called a test shoot. Hang on. And what that is I do test shoots. I'm going after a brewery. So what I want to do is I want their work. So I'm going to do a test shoot and shoot their cans and what I see their brand being. Then I'll make a portfolio and send that to them with just their stuff and go, hey, you guys should use this. and then I'll wait for him to get back to me on it. So anyways, before I went off north from that shiny thing, yeah, but me modding the cameras, yeah, that probably wouldn't happen. I have a hard enough time seeing this iPad, much less. All right. Okay, so this is the Zeiss Batis 85 millimeter 1.8. For autofocus, this is sharp, super sharp. But usually I take this camera and I put this lens on it from 1974. Now this is a Secor lens. It's off my Mamiya 6x7. It is a 3.8 f-stop, but it's supposed to go up against a 6x7 centimeter negative. So when I hook this to this, it's more like a 0.95 because it's covering the surface of a 6x7 centimeter negative. Now it's doing a full frame sensor. Night and day. Because this goes on a bellows focus camera, it's outfitted with a turning wheel for focus. So for focusing, it moves the lens in and out instead of the innards. Much easier to do close-ups. Macro. The A6400 is a good camera. Plus, it's called badass. Now I don't do much distance. So this is my second Sony A7R Mark II. It's got this little blue, green thing on here. That's nothing big, it's just glued on. And I thought it looked cool. But this is just a regular Sony, I don't know why I can't think. Just a regular Sony 70-200. And then I use all old Roker X glass, old Zeiss cinema glass, and I find that it makes my photos a little different. I guess what I'm trying to say is, Charlie, is that it's what makes me me. Is that's like my style. Because each of these copies I've worked with, and there's the way they do glare, or how they tint something, or just the impurities in the glass make it what it is. You know what I'm saying? I got into photography. Smoke high, yeah. I got into photography. I must have been 15. 15, yeah. I turned pro when I was 17. And when I was 15. Way back, 70s. Took a little stint in the 80s, back when I wore a younger man's clothes and a thinner man's clothes. And I was a USPA freefall photographer. I skydived for a living. And you guys thought I just rode a motorcycle. What I really don't like about today's photography is it's clinical. It's really clinical. The glass is sharp, super sharp, but it's too sharp. It's not, it has no feeling. It doesn't, like this piece of glass I have on here, tack sharp, $1,700 worth of glass, and I put a little filter on the front of it so it's not so sharp. Doesn't make sense, does it? I was a USPA freefall photographer up till 1999, 2000. To be really honest with you, I like skydiving, and I wanted to do it for free, so that's pretty much why if they paid me to take pictures, it paid for me to jump. I believe that's Sorry I'm Here. Appreciate it, man. Welcome aboard. Smoke high. I love that. Smoke high. I had the story, I told the story about it, but I started ASMR, and it's really weird. I'm probably going to go over it again with you guys. 1988, I was in a real bad motorcycle wreck. I hit a car head on at 65 miles an hour. Killed me and put me to sleep for 12 days. The 3 years it would take me to recover from that, I started having a problem sleeping. I'd go to the doctor, they'd give me sleeping pills, I'd feel like a zombie. So I quit doing that and just dealt with not sleeping. A couple years ago, now remember I'm old, so when I say a couple years ago, that could be between now and the turn of the century. It's just how it is. A couple of years ago, a friend of mine said I should try ASMR. I tried ASMR, did not like it, thought it was weird. There's no way. But because I'm involved in marketing, IKEA did a ASMR thing. My company wanted me to check it out. That's how it all began. I started sleeping right. Then I started making my own videos. Been making my own videos seriously for the last 2 years for ASMR. This channel's older, but it wasn't ASMR before. Yeah, I'm using a Pro Mist on here. Yeah, when I started using old glass, nobody was using it. I mean, I shot with film up until Nikon released the D90, because it was the first, no matter what anybody says, it was the first camera that did HD, not the Canon. The Canon was the first one to do 1080p, but Nikon was the first one to do HD. Then I went digital. Can I do any voice impressions in ASMR? I can't do them not in ASMR, I guess. No, I don't ride. I grew up on a motorcycle, and when I got hit, it wasn't my fault. It was somebody else's, and the world's gotten too crazy, and I've got 7 grandkids, and I want them to not go that way. And if you mean, do I still jump? No, I'm too fat. That's what happens when you get married to somebody who can cook. No, I don't know about that. 720 still HD. Below that isn't. A lot of the stuff you look at on YouTube is 720. This is 1080, and I'm shooting it in 8K. No, I'm not. Hang on, give me a second. I gotta see if I can see your name. I can't see it. But the question is, I'm new to your channel, but do you have any, you have an amazing voice. Am I a sound designer? No, I am not. I am a professional photographer. Now, about 9 years ago, I started shooting video because I wanted to eat and stay alive. But I wanted to go a step further. And I wanted to do my own sound effects, my own Foley. And that's how I'm not really that good of a sound guy either. Just, I wanted to get Foley. I wanted to get my own sound. So I'm really good at getting good sound on normal equipment. Like I don't use a mixing board in here. I just use a Tascam and a Portatrack P4 Next. That's what I use for podcasting too. And I run a podcast for my company and that's how I got into podcasting. And I don't talk on the podcast. I just make it so they can. What AM artist would I like to bring over to Cool? Well, let me start with the list. There is this Brazilian young lady named Giuliani for Till You Sleep. I'd love to interview her. Someone else who's real natural at it is Frivolous Fox. Real natural. I watch her and I remember my wife getting our grandkids to go to sleep. That's why I think she's so funny, because I fall asleep and like my grandkids. It's funny because I hit the mute button and I lean over and cough so you guys don't have to hear me cough. And by the time I get back up, the delay, I can see myself do it. To me, it's hilarious. All right, Charlie. So that's in the making, but I'm going to push that more towards my Monday videos. That's like I was saying, I'm going to do a product shoot, and that would be like on the Monday video. Sometimes, remember, this is real new, cool, and Studio L7 ASMR. So yeah, that's kind of the what's that word I'm looking for? That's what I'd want to do it on. How I'm shooting stuff, where I'm going to shoot stuff like that. Because believe it or not, that's a majority of the time I get DMs and stuff. That's what they ask for. So I believe that's Mito Loves You. Hello. What's up? It's a real live stream. Not pre-recorded. I know I do those. But that's setting up cool. Where does the... is that LD, the goat? Where does the L7 come from? Let me see if I can do this right on camera. Is that right? It's a box. Let's do it like this. It's a box. I'm just outside of it. I don't know. Remember, it's not turned around for me. So it's a box. I'm just split it in half. That's what the L7 is. I believe again that's Mito Loves You. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. Well, Charlie, I wanted to do ASMR, and this is the only way I can figure out a way to do it where I can talk about what I know about. But I hate it when people get on there and they go, you got to do it this way. There's a million different ways. It's like when a 19-year-old wants to be your life coach. I mean, what kind of life is he? And I'm not saying anything bad about 19-year-olds. I'm just saying, you haven't lived your life yet to be a life coach. So I want to teach, but in a different way. I want to teach, but not like teach. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I do that. All right, man. Good night. God bless you. Sweet dreams. Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying, but I've been in this industry for over 4 decades, and there's no one way to do it. And what I find a lot is you'll get these gurus and stuff, and it's not just with photography, it's with anything. Do this and you'll get this. Do this and this will happen. The world doesn't work like that. When it comes to photography, video, and sound, there's 1,000 different ways to do everything. Now, if you got deep pockets, enough money, you can do whatever you want. But if you're just starting, and you gotta be frugal with your money, that doesn't work. The other thing too is that a lot of people don't understand that my job as a photographer, I shoot very little. 90% of it is in meetings, preparing stuff, coming up with ideas, renting stuff, finding places. That all happens. A campaign can take 2 or 3 months worth of work just to put together for me to shoot for 2 or 3 days. That's just how it is. Yes, there are some times when it's easier for other people, but everybody I know will tell you the same thing. About 20% of my entire career is behind the camera. The rest is doing other stuff. A lot of photography businesses don't make it. Now, they don't make it because they're not talented or they don't know how to use a camera. They do it because they don't know how to do business. And that's one of the biggest things. Santa Cruz. I shoot in Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz, California, right? All right, man. I spent a lot of time down at Steamers. I like Santa Cruz. I spend most of my time Santa Cruz or Monterey. I got to go to Steamers because of Billabong, Scott, and there's another company I do surfers for. But yeah, I love Santa Cruz. Especially the monarch butterflies. Ooh, that makes a bad noise. How long have I been alive? Somewhere around 60 years. I take that back. I didn't live till I met my wife, in case she's listening. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Is the bridge. Is that what it's called? The little park you go down? Yeah, you cross over, yeah. Yeah, I'm a Seahawks fan. Baseball, the A's. Other than that, a little bit of boxing. All right, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, there's going to be, cool is evolving into something a little different. Well, it's evolving the way I want it to, but I'm trying to make it like a real radio station. Not acting like, not doing a role play, but I want it to be a real radio station where I can do my own produced stuff and then eventually bring other ones on. Yeah, it is a good one, and to be honest with you, I have not a clue where I got it at. I think somebody threw it in with some equipment. No tags or anything on it. And it's almost like a terry washcloth, but much softer, and it doesn't leave any. It acts like a microfiber, but it's like a terry washcloth. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. To be honest with you, I think I got it with a teleprompter at work, is when I think about it. So yeah, got like 4 or 5 of them. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. I want to go grab my GH5. I believe it. I believe it's YOLO, bro. You love the idea of the ASMR radio? Perfect, man. I appreciate it. Tune in. Listen to it. Yeah, it's a GH5. And it's made for run. It's like a run and gun. It took me a lot of iterations to figure out what I wanted to do. And then I landed on this. And I use the Mikey lenses with a Pro Mist on it. And it's not so clinical like we were talking about. And that's what she looks like when we're all done. Except for my cables. I don't have my cables plugging it in. Boom. Yeah, my G, this is micro 4/3. But I can shoot an open gate and get 5K out of it. And then I can position the whatever, which any way I want to afterwards. So I can go vertical or horizontal. A Lilliput. A Lilliput. "5" That's all it says. 7 volt input. I run it off this this battery. I have good luck with Lilliput. It's also the other monitor that I have for the output of this. So this, I'm watching it in a field here on an 11-inch iPad Pro. Then I'm watching it here for a color tone on a iPad Mini 2024. And then I've got a Lilliput monitor that gives me true depth, gives me zebras and everything back here. It's a little bit different than this one. And this is a Tilta matte box, and I slide Lee filters in there. I use one circular Indie, but other than that I use Lee. Wow, you guys look clearer now. Not so smudgy. Yeah, it attaches to this ring here because I don't run any tubes. I either roll on a monopod or I carry what's called a saddle. So it's a bag that goes over and then it sits right here. And then I do everything I got to do like this. I like using the saddle better than I do anything else. It's comfortable. Again, it straps around my neck. camera sits right here, and I can sit here all day with this. All day. My go-to, whatever one is the closest to me. For photography, I like the Sonys. To go hybrid, the new Nikon is looking pretty good. I stick with the older cameras because, of course, what I do doesn't... See, I look at it differently. There are better cameras than my Sony. If I own that camera, would I make any more money? No, I wouldn't. It wouldn't do anything for me to make more money. Just give me bigger pictures. Might make it a little easier. So I don't justify doing that. If I need bigger pictures, I rent it. Other than that, what I have does it for me. So why I won't entertain buying a new camera just to buy a new camera. I use the GH5 because the same reason. It's solid. I have 4 of them, the same build. If I need to replace it, it's relatively, I think they're $800 now. And boom, I'm back up and running. Me having a different camera wouldn't make me any more money. I'm not going to go into a different genre because of a camera. Makes sense? And yes, the ZR looks real nice. But it's like the red. There's nothing I really use it for that makes sense. I can do everything with this. I mean, you got to think about it. 90% of the stuff you're going to do commercially is going to go on the internet. You don't need a red for the internet. If you want to future-proof, though, and do bigger campaigns, TV, different things, that's where the red comes in. But I own, but I don't ever use it. This is smaller and does what I need it to do. Now the FX6, that's a good camera. Matter of fact, I stick mostly with video with GH series is because that's the ecosystem that I invested in. All my other stuff is Sony, Nikon, Hasselblad, and yeah, that's it. Hasselblad is a film camera. When I do upgrade, it's probably going to be to a Sony series. But the FX6, yeah, if I came across one, I don't know if I could resist. You know what? I have one of those too. I have a C330 too that I use more than the 645, or I don't use my 6x7 at all anymore. I used to be, in the film days, that was my digs. That was my rig, was everything Mamiya. That lens is a Secor lens. It's right off of Mamiya 6x7. Ooh, it's starting to rain. Yeah, I got about 4 or 5 Secor lenses, and they're old, and most of them been to more countries than people that see them, but I love them. I would never rehouse them for video. That's blasphemy. that little pop filter, every thump I make, that pop filter gets it, picks it up. I got this table, except for a little bit of wiggle, has no sound, but that pop filter, I set anything heavy on here, I get a oh yeah, but I would never use them for video. For one, they're sharp lenses from the middle, but they feather out when you get to the edges. They're big, so that loses the f-stop thing, but they're nice because I can shoot, like I said, I shoot that 42 megapixel sensor right in the middle of that thing. And then however my customer has to recrop it, I shot a analyzer. My customer has me come up with the idea, everything, signs off on it. I shoot it how the brief asks for. The customer, because I shoot it with that Secor on those, the customer comes back and goes, hey, we need you to reshoot that because we need it horizontal. We need some more empty real estate on to the left of it. Well, reshoot. I shot on that with that lens, with that big image. And what they need it for, I mean, I could get away with doing most of my work with a 24 megapixel camera. I just reframe it. The picture I already took, charge them $100 for a reshoot. They get a deal. I had to do less work. All right. Even if I didn't read the part, even if I didn't rehouse it, the Secor lens, the 6x7, belongs on a bellows camera. There is no mechanism to focus in it, so rehousing would be pretty crazy. But the newer lenses that are internal parfocal, those can be rehoused. But mine's from in the 70s. 3 of them are from probably late 60s. Yeah, exactly. The whole lens moves to where on the newer ones, the elements slide together. So with the older Secors, there's less glass elements in there. Makes it look a little different, especially for stills. I have an adapter on there that manually moves it like it's on a bellows, except for it's not on a bellows. When you turn it, it extends from here. But if you're shooting video, that wouldn't be, yeah. Hola. I don't speak Spanish. My bad, sorry. Yeah, let me run and get that. I'll show you. All right, I'm back. Okay, so there's no focus ring on this lens. I don't know if you can see it. This is all for f-stop, shutting it down. The shutter's actually in the lens. So this is a focusing ring. Seeing it moves the lens out, just like if it was on a bellows. Remember, I shoot product with this, so I'm always locked off. I'm always locked off on a tripod, so it doesn't matter how fast I have to do it. I don't have to do it fast. I just got to get it set up. Once my camera's locked in, it stays right there the whole time. Can you guys hear me swallow? I have this mic turned up way too loud. All right. Tomorrow, yeah, I lock. There's a mechanism for me to lock it open, so I bypass the shutter that's built in. So we put it on, push it in, click it over, keeps the shutter open. All right, tomorrow I'll be putting out a video talking about this equipment. I'll bring in some recorders to explain a little bit why I use it, how come I do. Give me a second. And as for cool, KEWL. I can't run ads on it. Or may I say, I'm afraid to run ads on it because I'm worried that I'm going to get a jump scare. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the ads myself. Then in the middle of the broadcast, after a while, because I want to make sure that if an ad does pop up, it doesn't pop up during the trigger. I'm going to, just like a radio station, I'm going to say, hey, this is KEWL. We'll be back in a couple minutes after this break. Now, I'll fade the sound out, sit back. I might get up and just walk out here, walk back in, say, hey, we're back. I'll place the marker there. So when I let YouTube place them, they don't always run an ad. But I believe that if I'm going to place them, there'll probably be an ad there. What that's going to do is it's going to let you know an ad's coming. But then if there is no ad, it still looks normal. You know what I'm saying? Hang on, let me read this. All right, I believe that's Eric. I'm using Google Translate. But I wanted to say a couple days ago, I appreciate it, sir. And you're in Costa Rica. That's one of the places I haven't been. I need to go to Costa Rica. But anyways, thank you, sir. I'm probably not going to make it fade to black because I don't know. I don't have any control over what the ad does. So and then there's the other problem is that what happens if there isn't an ad? Then I'm going to say, be right back after this break. Then I'm just going to walk out and walk back in. It seems more natural. And that's what I'm going to do about the fade into black thing. If I fade to black, then it's just going to be dark. That's my thought. That's what I was thinking. Just trying to make it as much as I can like a real radio station. It's a short video, and no, we still got to get back together and he just had a new baby, so, I don't know if you're around to hear about all that, but yeah, and then we'll get back on that, but for everything that's happened, it's coming along great. All right, so that's what's going on with Cool. Yeah, that's about it. Anyways, with the more delay, just check out the new style I display. It's time to say goodnight. One more, hang on. I was talking, Charlie, about, remember, I'm going to do the Mondays, and I'm going to do that kind of like a what I'm doing kind of. Apparently, people really like my voice, so I want to utilize that as much as I can. what I'm doing, I'll go into making Foley and different things as we go along. And actually, if everything works out real good, there'll be a nice library of Foley, how to do things. And everybody does it different. But yeah. And what's really, hang on. Uh-oh. Don't do that. Oh my goodness. Come back. There you are. Yeah, a lot of times though, what's going to be really interesting, Charlie, is that I go and get the sounds for real. And so there's going to be sometimes I'm going to do like a live stream where I go to places and get sound. Maybe, of course, sometimes waterfalls. I might need some old crinkly stuff. So I'll go and do a live stream, like maybe in an old barn, wiggling, just show you guys how I get sound effects. And then, yeah, sometimes I'll come in and show you guys how I do Foley. It'll be a whole thing. What's going to happen is eventually I'm going to retire, okay? And when I retire, I'm not going to retire all the way. I'm just going to quit doing work for the huge corporation I work for. And I'll go back to doing work for myself. And then it's going to get real interesting because I'm including this and that. Hang on. I believe that's loco. Summarize everything. All right, bro. Not your fault if I killed your name. I can't see that well. Appreciate the heads up, man. Thanks a lot for the kind words. Yeah, and that's true too, but I want to keep it all in an ASMR kind of form. I like this laid back. If I can teach something, you'll find that people learn better or pick up on it better if it's in a relaxed, just like a hanging out thing. I know I pick up on stuff better than that, like that. But that's it, This is what I know, and I want to do ASMR, so I'm going to talk about it. But I've always wanted to have a radio station. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do both of them. And you'll see over the period of time, they're both going to come together. I might even teach cooking, have a cooking show. What do you think? All right. Yeah, I stole that from Matthew McConaughey. All right, so tune in. Tomorrow I got another video out. Friday will be cool. So come and hang out and be cool. And I think that's it for me tonight. Appreciate you guys all hanging out here with me. It's been fun. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. Other than that, see you guys next Sunday. Bye. I don't know why I put my hand up there. That's how I end my video.